Hey, Buster, are you gonna help me? You're very handsome. I love you. All right, everybody, for a guy who claims to be a pioneer in the art of chainsaw carving, I'm feeling a little stupid at the moment. I'm probably the last guy to get on board with the no ethanol fuel rule. I bought this saw used, and on the first day of having it, I burned it up. I blew up my other saw like a week earlier, and I thought that one might have blown up because I had left my gas can out in the rain. But I think the fuel at the station here that I go to has water in the gas. That's what I'm thinking, and a lot of it. Or I got, it was low in the tank or something. It's bad fuel, that's what I'm thinking. There are some possibilities that, ripping with these saws, shutting them off, rather than letting it idle, starting it up and just cranking, could be other problems. I've talked to some chainsaw guys and some peers about what I could do to try to get some longevity. But the first thing we're going to do is switch to the non-ethanol fuel. So I have to rebuild this thing. So I ordered parts, and I'm going to try to rebuild this in record time tonight. Put the camera on so it snaps the intermittent photos, and we'll see how long it takes to rebuild this saw and see if I can make it run. Here we go. So, around the exhaust port, the metal is all chipped there. So that's not good. And then on the intake side, the coating is actually bubbled up. You can see that, there's texture there. This damn thing got hot. So another thing that was interesting, the screw on the muffler, or the other thing that was interesting, the screw that holds the rubber to the cylinder on the carburetor side was loose, and the two of the screws on the bottom of the jug seemed a little loose to me. So it might have been sucking air, I don't know. All right, here we go. This is a piston. This is what's in every gasoline engine. This is a 2-stroke motor here, not a 4-stroke, so you got to mix gas with this, gas and oil. So a lot of times when they fry, they'll fry on the exhaust port. It's the hottest part of the saw. So this piston goes up and down inside here, and the spark plug creates explosion. How the heck does this work? It goes up, comes down, sucks in the fuel, goes up and the fuel explodes, goes down and creates exhaust, something like that. But this is toast. This is what happens when you fry your saw. And that's mashed up like that. So the ring might have hooked inside here. Side of the exhaust port, the ring hooked, I don't even freaking know. It obviously got hot. It all mushed together. Got so hot that it took the coating off. This is an aluminum cylinder. They spray in a coating that's like chrome on a bumper, only stronger. And they're like Teflon on a fry pan. And then the piston goes up and down inside of there, and these rings are harder metal than the aluminum piston, and that's how you get your compression. The rings ride on the inside of the cylinder. Boom, it pushes up and down. You got compression with the rings. Once the rings are fried like that, you have no more compression. and it's just like it's like a mud in there. All right, well, this is a pretty easy thing to take apart. I really didn't even need to do anything with the carburetor to take off the rubber part. I didn't realize that. The last one was much more complicated because the carburetor is actually bolted to the jug. On these older saws with the rubber boot between the carburetor, that rubber boot would crack and suck air through there. That can get it hot and cause it to fry. So this is an older saw that still has that. So these things can fry from air through the rubber boot, poor carburetor adjustment, bad fuel, air sucking in under the cylinder head here with loose screws, or the crank bearings can go and they'll suck air through the crank bearings. Anything that gets more air to create a leaner mix will fry your motor. So hopefully the boot on this is good and it wasn't sucking air through the bearings. Hopefully, what I'm guessing is the gas was bad. So hopefully that's the problem, because otherwise I'm just going to fry it again. This is something I always like to do when I rebuild a chainsaw, and that is start it up without the muffler on. It's kind of fun. Let's see if this works. Oh, yes. Why do I like that so much? Buster, was that fun? All right, so it was about 4:30, 4:45 when I started this nonsense, and it's a little bit before 7 o'clock now. So that's pretty fast. We already know that it runs from running it without the muffler on. I really don't want to create more exhaust smell in the gallery here. It's bad enough now. So we got comprendo. We know it runs. The only bad part about rebuilding one of these is that you are taking the screws out and putting them in. Sometimes they use Loctite, sometimes they don't. Sometimes screws can rattle loose. I try to tighten things really well without stripping it. That's a trick. But for all practical purposes, we got a brand new jug and piston in the saw, and unless there's an air leak in the boot or an air leak in the crank case, this thing should run really well for a long time. I'm thinking the problem was fuel. I think that it's very, very crappy gas that I had with a lot of water in it, and the way I was running it was, got hot, and I just whacked it too hard. That's what I do to these damn things. But I'm going to try to run it a little easier or warm it up good, use good fuel, have the mix exactly right, and then rather than shutting it off in between my rips, I'm going to let it idle. So so that it can keep the fuel and the oil running through the cylinder and the air going across the fins to keep it cooler. So that's the plan. Keep these saws working. I run hydraulics most of the time, so I don't whack on these gas saws that much, and when I do, I really wail on them. And they need to run under a load, and you can't have freaking water in the gas. All right, very cool.